The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. We're calling this meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Today is our regular council meeting for March, and it is now 10:15 a.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicole Reynoso.
Present.
Councilman Rafael Pinedo.
Present.
Councilwoman Digna Cabral.
Present.
Vice Mayor Maureen Porras. Mayor Christy Fraga.
Present.
Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Pinedo. I would like to call up Pastor Edwin Castro for our invocation. And before he does that, I'd also like to quickly ask for a minute of silence for those who have passed that are close to us this past month. Former Congressman Lincoln Diaz-Balart, a dear friend of our community, Jose Prusa, and the former school board chairwoman, Perla Tavares-Hatman. Thank you. Pastor Castro.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor Fraga, council members, and everyone present, and also Ginger that I met this morning. I don't know if you met her, but she's beautiful. So thank you for your invitation. I'm honored to be here with you this morning, and I would like to begin this meeting in prayer, if you can join me. Heavenly Father, we come before you today grateful for the opportunity to serve in this community. We recognize that leadership is a great responsibility, and we cannot do it well without your wisdom and guidance. Your word says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. Lord, today we ask for your guidance. Help these leaders to make decisions that are fair, wise, and good for everyone in this city. Give them clear minds, humble hearts, and a spirit of teamwork so that they together can do the best for the city of Doral. Your word also says in James 1:5, if anyone lacks wisdom, they should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault. So today, Lord, we ask, please give them wisdom. Fill them with your spirit. Give them the understanding and the care for this city, Lord. We bless their families. We bless their health, their mental health. And we thank you, Lord, because we have a community that is beautiful, that is prosperous and safe. Also, I want to pray, Lord, for the police department, for the schools, and every public leader in this community. We bless their families, Lord, and we thank you for the privilege of live in this beautiful and prosperous city of Doral. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. All right, we've got the agenda order of business now. If I'd like to hear from our city manager's office if there's anything that they'd like to pull.
Good morning, Mayor. No, I believe the city attorney is going to pull an item.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, I'd like to pull 6B, just to make a clarification.
Okay, 6B. Councilman Pinedo.
I'm good.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
6-0. 6-0.
Okay, Councilwoman Reynoso.
None. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Councilwoman Cabral.
6A and 6C.
6A and 6C.
Z like zebra.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull 6Q for discussion as well. All right.
Mayor,
Yes.
could you give me 1 second?
Yes. Can I repeat?
Mayor, could I pull item 6U?
Yes.
You.
You. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead into public comments now. This is our reasonable opportunity to be heard. If you have anything that you would like to address this council on, please approach the podium. You have 3 minutes to speak in a respectful manner. Please state your name and address for the record. I'm going to call the comment cards first. If you did not fill out a comment card, you can still come up to the podium. Just make sure to fill out a comment card with the city clerk after. If you need translation, please let us know. We're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Richard Gladstad.
Well, this is a beautiful new podium here. All right. Good morning, Fraga Magas. I'm welcoming you to Doral, the premier rental community where homeownership is just a dream. There is a familiar checklist for extinction. We are ticking off every item on it. The idiots know only one word: more. They are unencumbered by common sense. They hoard wealth and resources until workers cannot make a living and the infrastructure collapses. They live in privileged compounds, kind of like I do. I'm privileged. They see the state as a projection of their vanity. The Romans, Mayans, French, Habsburgs, Ottoman, Romanov, Wilhelmine, Pahlavi, and Soviet dynasties crumbled because the whims and obsessions of ruling idiots were law. The most ominous danger we face comes from the organization and destruction of institutions, including the courts, academia, legislative bodies, cultural organizations, and the press that once assured that civil discourse was rooted in reality and fact, helping us distinguish lies from truth and facilitate justice. Okay, the reason I'm reading this is because it's so apropos not only to the city of Doral, but most places in the world. Because nowadays, the governments are not really responsive to the people. No matter how hard the people seem to want to change things for the way they see, like for example, when Barbie Hernandez had to go because of 3 votes, the people were begging the city not to let her go. Whether you like her or not, it doesn't really matter. But the point is that nobody got here and spoke against her. The will of the people at that particular juncture in our history was denied. I happen to have liked her. I think she's a wonderful person. I was sorry to see her go, but 3 people out of 75,000. What kind of a democracy is that? Where 3 people can control the destiny of thousands. There's something wrong there. I think something like that should have at least been on a unanimous vote. But 3 people can control everything. And 3 people here are controlling our health because with all the overdevelopment and destruction of our environment, my health and your health is just deteriorating more and more and more.
Thank you, Mr. Gladstad. Okay, next we have Lizzie Albornoz. Albornoz.
Good morning, Mayor and Council members and everyone present. My name is Licia Albornoz, and I am honored to stand before you today as a proud member of the Venezuelan community. First, I want to sincerely thank you for the resolution in support of the Venezuelan Adjustment Act. Your recognition of this issue means so much to thousands of Venezuelans who have made Doral and the United States their home. The Venezuelan Adjustment Act is more than just a piece of legislation. It's a pathway to stability and opportunity for people who have fled dictatorship, political persecution, and economic collapse. Many of us have lived in the United States for years, working hard, building businesses, raising families, and contributing to our communities. However, without permanent legal status, we remain in limbo, unable to fully plan for the future. This law would allow eligible Venezuelans to apply for permanent residence, giving them the security they need to continue contributing to this country. It would strengthen our workforce, boost the economy, and keep families together. While your support is a huge step, we still need help from higher levels. Our state's leaders, our congressional representatives, and national decision makers. That's why your voice matters. Resolutions like this show the unity and commitment of local governments to supporting immigrant communities. We hope you will continue advocating for us, encouraging state and federal leaders to take action. On behalf of the Venezuelan community, I thank you again for recognizing the importance of this bill. With your support, we are one step closer to achieving the stability and dignity we seek. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else like to speak in public comments? This is your opportunity. Being no more public comments, public comments is now closed. Okay, we need a motion on the consent agenda. However, I believe there is one more item that will be pulled.
Yes, through the mayor.
Yes,
Could I also pull items 6U and 6V?
I think you had already pulled
already pulled
6U,
6U.
so 6V.
And 6T then.
So U, T, and V?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please review the items that have been pulled so that we understand what is being passed on the consent agenda?
Yes, Madam Mayor. It'll be all of the items on the consent agenda with the exception of 6A, 6B, 6O, 6Q, 6U, 6T, 6V, and 6Z.
Okay. Okay, I need a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Reynoso.
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, show the consent agenda passed unanimously. All right. I need an approval of the minutes.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Reynoso.
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Show the consent agenda approved unanimously. We'll now move into presentations. Madam Clerk?
Item 8A, presentation, Keep Doral Beautiful Business Award.
Okay, I believe we have Mr. Edgar Estrada.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, Madam Manager, Mr. Deputy Manager, Mr. City Attorney, Madam Clerk, and members of the audience. Edgar Estrada, Co-Compliance Director. This month, we are pleased to recognize Westwood Holding Corp. For their outstanding commitment to keeping Doral beautiful. The property for which they're being recognized for is located at 2325 Northwest 102nd Place. Westwood Holding Corp. has been in the city of Doral for 32 years. The property is approximately 33,000 square feet. and it is home to 3 local businesses, including its management company, Commercial Property Group. Some of the recent improvements include repainting of the entire building, installation of wall signs, resealing and coating of the parking lot, and installation of maintenance and landscape. It is with great pleasure that we name Westwood Holding Corp. For the Keep Doral Beautiful Business Award for their continued efforts to keeping Doral beautiful. Mayor and council, the property owners, unfortunately, were not able to make it today due to an unforeseen emergency. So I just wanted to read their award into the record and congratulate them.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Estrada.
Thank you.
We send our best to them. All right, we'll continue on then, and we'll move into discussion items. Madam Clerk.
Discussion item 9A, a resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Doral, Florida, expressing support for Senate Bill 1008, sponsored by State Senator Brian Avila, providing for transmittal, incorporation, or recitals, and an effective date.
Okay, this is my item. So this is just basically a legislation that is right now going through the Senate. It did receive a House sponsor. I will be in Tallahassee next week. Wanted to take this. This is legislation that was sponsored by Senator Brian Avila, requesting that future waste-to-energy facilities or any facility that burns waste would be required to be at least a mile away from the closest resident. Obviously, we've been dealing with the waste-to-energy facility here in Doral for many years. We're right now in a holding period as the county decides where they're going to rebuild. This legislation would protect Doral and other communities throughout the state that would need this type of facility in the future to make sure that it is placed far away from affecting the health, life, and safety of residents. So put this on the agenda so that we can show our support and send it up to Tallahassee. Again, I'll be there next week and hope to be able to take it with me. There's no other comments.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Cabral.
Mayor,
Councilman Pinedo has a question?
and if you don't mind, I would like to co-sponsor as well.
Absolutely. Yes, Councilman Pinedo.
Thank
To
you.
the mayor,
Yes, Councilwoman Reynoso?
also co-sponsor.
Yes, absolutely. Would anybody else like to co-sponsor?
You can add me.
I think we can all
As well.
add everybody. So Madam Clerk, you can add the co-sponsorship of the entire board. All right, thank you very much. We have a second and a motion. Please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilman Cabral. Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso? Yes. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. Move on to the next item.
Next item, item B, a resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Doral, Florida, affirming support for State Representative Tom Fabricio's introduction of House Bill 303 and State Senator Brian Avila's introduction of Senate Bill 486 and their efforts to address the devastating effects of rock mine blasting on residential and commercial real properties, providing for transmittal, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date.
Okay, Councilwoman Cabral, this is your item.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick today. Well, a lot sick. As you know, for many years we have dealing with the blasting, especially on the north side of our city, where we have many complaints of many residents for years. And I hope that you already have read the memo, so I can limit myself of talking too much on supporting Senator Brian Avila and to this bill on the effort on the rock mining blasting that is affecting residents and also commercial areas.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras. Anybody else?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo. There's no more questions. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, we move on to the next item.
Next item, item C, a resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Doral, Florida, urging state legislature to amend Florida statutes 316.2128 and 316.2065 in order to amend safety gear requirements and enforcements as they relate to the operation of micromobility devices, providing for the city's lobbyists with instruction, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date.
Okay, Councilman Pinedo, this is your item.
Thank you, Mayor. The reason of moving forward with this resolution urging the Florida state to amend Florida statutes 316.2128 and 316.2065 is number one, first of all, because we recognize that the route keeps growing and expanding, connecting, and a lot of people use micromobility devices to get to one place to another, especially when it comes to work or school. So at the same time, we keep receiving, I'm sure you as well, some concerns about these micromobility devices around the city when it comes to especially safety gears and depending on the hour that they're used, especially during nighttime. So the reason of this resolution is to not only to get your support, but also to approve a modification to the previously proposed resolution that we passed, urging the Florida legislature to amend the statutes to include the following. Number one, to require a valid Florida driver license in order to operate a micromobility device. Two, to mandate the use of protective helmets for all individuals 18 years of age and younger who operate a micromobility device. And three, to require the use of reflective gear for all micromobility device riders. That certainly will enhance visibility and safety for all residents and drivers as well. These modifications, I believe, will not only increase safety for riders, but also improve the visibility of those using micromobility devices in our city, reducing the risk of accidents and promoting a safer environment for all.
Thank you, Councilman
If you have any
Pinedo.
questions?
Any questions or comments?
Motion.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Oh, sorry, Councilwoman Cabral.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no more questions, thank you, Councilman Pinedo. Madam Clerk?
Motion to approve made by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilwoman Cabral. Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much.
Item D, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, affirming support for HR 1348, the Venezuelan Adjustment Act, or similar legislation that would authorize the Secretary of Homeland Security to adjust the status of law-abiding Venezuelan nationals to lawfully admitted permanent residents, expressing concern over the suspension of temporary protected status for Venezuelans and its impact on the community, providing for transmittal, incorporation, and recitals, and an effective date.
Okay, Councilman Pinedo?
Thank you, Mayor. As you already know, this resolution originally was passed on June of 2023, which we adopted Resolution 111. At that moment, that resolution reaffirms the city's support for the Venezuelan Adjustment Act, which is a bipartisan legislation that will allow eligible Venezuelans nationals to adjust their immigration status to lawful permanent residency, offering them stability and legal protections. Two, at that moment, we urge federal action. The resolution calls on a federal representative to advocate for policies that provide legal stability and pathways to permanent residency for Venezuelan nationals. On February 12th of this year, the City Council, we approved Resolution 25-55, which expressed concerns over the suspension of TPS protections, saying that the recent suspension of TPS for Venezuela has placed thousands of law-abiding individuals and families at risk of deportation and financial instability. And two, we urged President Trump and the administration to find solutions for law-abiding Venezuelans. On February 19 of this year, Representative Maria Elvira Salazar and Darren Soto, David Wasserman, and Federica Wilson announced the reintroduction of the Venezuelan Adjustment Act, HR 1348, which again will allow the legal status for certain Venezuelan nationals that were lawfully admitted into the states, and now they're looking for permanent residence if they meet certain criteria, including entering the United States before or on December 31st, 2021. The recommendation of this resolution is to seek the support with the following actions. Number one is official communication. After approving this resolution, we will request our city clerk to transmit copies of this resolution to key federal legislators, including the sponsors of this bill, Maria Elvira Salazar, Darren Soto, David Wasserman, Federica Wilson, but also Mario Diaz Balar, Carlos Jimenez, and other South Florida congressional representatives, as well as Florida U.S. senators. Community engagement. The City of Doral will continue to work closely with local Venezuelan organizations and advocacy groups to provide resources and assistance to affected residents. And number three, public awareness. Certainly to encourage our city staff to help disseminate information about available legal resources and community support services for Venezuelans affected by TPS suspension. I want to make clear that the city of Doral remains committed to advocating for the rights and well-being of our Venezuelan residents, and that's why we urge our federal representative to support the Venezuelan Adjustment Act and also to seek alternative solutions for those affected by the TPS suspension. I also want to recognize Ms. Mildred Rodriguez that is here, if she can come forward, because Mildred has been working on the Venezuelan Adjustment Act for over 5 years now, and she's the one leading this, pretty much this cause, not only traveling around the country, but meeting a lot of legislators, especially when she's in Washington, D.C., and she has become a champion on this matter. So I would love to have Mildred to come forward. If you want to say a few words and explain to us a little bit about what are you doing, what are the steps that the organization is taking, what's the difference between now and 2023, especially with the situation that Venezuela is still living with the Maduro's regime. So welcome.
Thank you for coming. I'm going to invite my Francisco because
Sure.
I have to explain a little bit more. But in the first time, I'm going to thank you very much. It's for me an honor like this. For me, it's an honor to be here in the city of Doral, a place that has witnessed this for resilience and invaluable contribution to the Venezuelan community, to the United States. Today, we are getting to support a just cause. One was not only recognize a hardworking and a committed community, but also present an opportunity to strengthen the economy and social fabric in the great country. The Venezuelan Adjustment Act, H.R. 1348, reintroduced on February 13, 2025, with a bipartisan support, is not just an immigration measure, it's a proposal to respond to the reality of over 400,000 Venezuelans who have built their life in the United States before December 31st, 2021. We are individuals who have fled the regime that persecute, imprison, and silence its citizens. People who far from being a border on an asset to this country. Today, the City of Doral reaffirmed its commitment to this community and to the very essential American values, freedom, justice, and opportunity. Supporting this bill means recognize the reality of those who are already part of our society, who work, pay taxes, and contribute local and national development. We call all representatives in the Congress to prioritize this legislation and act with responsibility and humanity. This is not about politics, it's about people, families, and a story of effort and perseverance. Thank you. Thank you very much for all you. The support in this bill is for the community and also demonstrate that we are an asset for this nation. And we continue until this bill we approve. Don't worry, we don't take a date when this bill is going to be approved. It's only to continue to work, the hard work, until this opportunity coming to us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mildred. And I, since you're here, I know you're getting more support now than before, especially from 2023. Now there are more congressional members reaching out to you and getting more information from you as well, right?
Okay, when it's a little bit, when we start in 2022, we only have 3 representatives. That was the last year from the Congress. That finished the Congress. We worked until the immigration committee. After that, we introduced the new one in the June 12, 2023, and we start with only 4 representatives. In this year, we're working hard in 2024, and we get 15 more representatives. So there's 4 that we had a recompense. We had a reward for that work, and we continue to get more done, and we finish when this law was approved.
Thank you. I just want to thank you one more. Yes, please.
Sorry. Good evening, good afternoon, Mayor. Good morning, Mayor, City Councils, City officials, resident of Doral. It's very simple. Today we take a historic standing in our Venezuelan brothers and sisters by supporting the Venezuelan Adjustment Act. Doral is one of the largest Venezuelan communities in the United States, as you know. families who have fled dictatorship, political persecution, and economic devastation in search of safety and freedom. This resolution is more a symbolic gesture. It is a declaration of our commitment to justice. The Venezuelan Adjustment Act will provide a clear path to residence for those who have already contributed so much to our economy, as you know, and our community. These business owners, teachers, doctors, and workers who embody the American dream and have enriched our city with the resilience and determination. By supporting this resolution, we send a strong message to Congress. That's what we do every time that we go to Congress. We send them a message. We tell them what we need and why we need it, right? So the time is, the action is now. Venezuelans deserve the same opportunity that's past wave of immigrants fleeing oppression that have received. They deserve stability, dignity, and the chance to fully integrate into the nation they now call home. Doral is known as you know, Doralzuela, right? So, for a reason, let's honor that name by standing together, united support in this act. I really thank you so much for the resolution, Mayor Pinheiro, Council Pinheiro, Mayor Fraga, Vice Mayor Porres, Council Reynoso, and Council Cabral. This is very important for us. We have a very high community that needs help. Right now is the time to act. Playground is past. This is the time to work hard. My wife has a saying that is very good. She says, don't get preoccupied, get occupied. So if you are preoccupied because you're gonna go, well, what do you do to get occupied to work for? That's what we do. We have visited so many times the Congress. We have so many meetings with senators, congressmen, and all saying this is a very feasible bill because it's a single bill. It's not an immigration reform per se at all. Councilman Pinheiro said in an interview, this is a great opportunity to get permanent resident to people that need it right now. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you. Before you leave, can you provide your address for the
My
record?
name is Francisco Rodriguez. I
Name and
live in Orlando, Florida. My address is 9814 Moss Way, Orlando, Florida, 32832. I don't live in Doral, but my son lives here.
And just for the record, it's the same address for Mildred as well,
Address
right?
from Mildred, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I can give you my son, 4230.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to my colleagues as well.
Thank you, Councilman. Do we have a motion on the item?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Cabral. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. We will now, if there's any comments?
I have a comment.
Okay. Go ahead, Councilwoman Cabral.
Thank you. I would like to ask to Councilman Pinheiro to see if I could co-sponsor this resolution. For me, the Venezuelan community is very close to my heart, not just because majority, like Ms. Rodriguez said, Ms. Rodriguez as well, majority are residents for our city. But I always said this when I am within our Venezuelan brothers and sisters that I am very grateful, and the Dominican Republic is always very grateful because you were the one who actually embraced our father of our country, Juan Pablo Duarte, when he exiled from Dominican Republic in Venezuela. So for us Dominicans, Venezuela is very close to our heart because you were the one who embraced him by the time that he needed to unfortunately leave the country after we received our independence. So thank you so much for everything that you do. And most definitely, this is a very, sorry, a big concern and the impact that this will bring, not just in the nation, because there's many Venezuelans all over, but especially to our city here. So God bless you, and we're gonna keep you in our prayers in order for you to be able to resolve this issue.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Reynoso?
Thank you, Mayor. I've said this little piece of facts throughout a few council meetings, but my husband is Venezuelan. He's from Maracaibo, and I have 3 Venezuelan children. Anything Venezuelan has a priority in the office that I hold here in Doral, especially with the injustices that are happening in the country. I want to thank Councilmember Pinheiro for putting this out. I heard one of the council comments saying a public comment saying that we need more people to be involved, more of our leaders to be involved. But, a movement starts with one and then it grows. We, as a Venezuelan community, have not had this type of attention, I want to say ever. The movement is growing. People are watching. People are interested in what is happening. Other Americans are noticing what is happening to the Venezuelan community. And they are, many of them, behind us. They want to see a fair immigration process. And I think as long as things have rules and processes in place, why not give hardworking Venezuelans that have come here seeking help from a country that a lot of them have done nothing else but to add to our economy, add to the growth and the culture of a city like the city of Doral? So I'm 100% supportive of this item. I'm 100% in support of letting other leaders know, hey, the Venezuelan community needs our voice. And I've said this also before. Our job as leaders is to speak for those who do not have voices. So again, count on our support. And thank you so much, Councilman Pinedo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Reynoso.
Through the mayor, just very
Yes,
quickly.
Vice Mayor Porras.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd also like to co-sponsor it. That's okay with you. I want to thank Mildred, Francisco, the entire team for all of their hard work, because without them, this would not have gotten this far. So congratulations on all the great work. I think you guys have over 300,000 signatures around. We need to get to 500,000, guys. So go to the website and sign the letter. It's very easy and quick. I'm very proud and happy to see that we are reaffirming our support for this piece of legislation. And of course, I wholeheartedly support it. And I hope that we can also get the same support that we did in 2023 from other elected officials, from the county, from the different levels of government, because we need that as well. I'm glad that other Congress people have joined, but I think we should also start building up that local support like we did in 2023, and I think it can be done. So thank you again for paving this way and all the great work, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just quickly say, I think all of us want to co-sponsor, so if you can add our name to all of them. Thank you, Councilman Pinedo, for bringing this forward. Mildred, Fernando, it's been a couple years now that you all have been working on this, and since we met, I think there's a lot of progress that has been made, and I'm happy to see that it continues to move. I know it's a lot of hard work, and sometimes when one door shuts, another door opens, and so there's a voice that continues to be spread regarding the impact that has been made with legislation like this. So we wholeheartedly support it for many reasons that you've already heard here today and for many of the conversations that we've had in the past. And I think it's important to let people know what this legislation truly does and its intention. So I'm glad that we're here supporting it again. Councilman Pinedo, thank you. And we continue to send you our support, our prayers, and our commitment to fighting for a fair and just system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilwoman Cabral, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we move on to item E.
Item E, a resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Doral, Florida, directing and authorizing Councilwoman Reynoso to work with the City Manager's Office to propose improvements to special needs events and programs to prioritize Doral's residents, providing direction to the City Manager and City Attorney, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date.
Okay, Councilwoman Reynoso, this is your item.
Thank you. Well, colleagues, I am bringing this item very similar to the item that I brought last month for our Silver Club. I want to be able to represent the special needs community and make sure that the things that are important to them is being well represented. I was very disheartened to know that last year, one of their equivalent to their end of the year gala was not programmed. And I want to make sure things like that do not happen to them again. We need to include and represent and take care of them just like we do any other function that the city does. And that's not to say that's not happening, but I just want to make sure that extra emphasis is being focused and that we do right by them. So that is my item. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo, Second?
Second?
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Item F, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, approving a special event permit and use of the city logo requested by Eduardo Orozco to host the Run Doral 2025 at Doral Meadows Park, located at 11555 Northwest 58th Street, Doral, Florida 32178, on Sunday, April 13, 2025, from 6:30 to 10:30, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date.
Okay, I think we're going to hear from Planning and Zoning. Guillermo, welcome.
Morning. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, city attorney, city manager, city attorney, assistant city manager, city clerk. The applicant, Eduardo Orozco, is requesting approval to host the Run Doral 2025. It's a 5K run walk. Is there no presentation? Okay, sorry. The event will be hosted at Doral Meadows Park, located at, there we go. Located at 111-555 Northwest 58th Street from 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, April 13th, with setup from 4 a.m., tear down at 10:30 a.m. They are requesting use of the city logo. No financial assistance has been requested by the applicant. They are requesting road closures, Northwest 58th Street from on Northwest 58th Street from 117th Ave to 107th Ave, 117th Ave from 58th to Northwest 50, and 74th Street from 114th to 107th. There will be parking on site. That's the site plan. And they are estimating about 1,600 attendees. And yeah, so planning and zoning's seeking approval.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. All right, if there's no other questions, I need a motion to approve.
Mayor.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras, second by Councilwoman Cabral.
Mayor.
Yes, Councilman Pinedo.
Thank you. I just want to say, first of all, happy birthday to Eduardo.
Happy birthday, Eduardo.
Yes. And second, I spoke to the city manager and the administration to see if it's possible to waive the process of every year of the organization coming to apply for these permits, since this is the third year that they hosted in the city. I think that numbers have been increasing every year. We all participate. We hope that we can actually improve our mark this year, right? Our time. But I think that it's becoming more like a signature event for the city than anything else, without waiving any fees or anything like that, but at least to expedite the process so they don't have to come back for approval every time that we have that they're planning to host the event in the city. So I think that
I have no problem with that,
It will
as
be
long as
better.
legally, through legal, we have no issues, with giving direction to the administration to move forward and creating this more like obviously it's continuing to have the fees because it is for profit for them, but to give them some type of concession as a signature event that's consistent.
As far as legally is concerned, the only thing we would do is just enter into some kind of an agreement.
Okay.
Where we would have just, some kind of, legal
Formalization.
disclaimers. And then, yeah, it could be an evergreen.
Okay.
works.
Yes.
If I just may add, this would be specific to the special event permit process going to
Right.
council. It wouldn't waive building permits.
Correct.
MOT, et cetera. So I just wanted to state that for the record.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yes, I have no issues with that. We can add to have administration meet with the applicant through legal and create some type of memorandum of understanding for a couple years.
That works.
Yep.
And for my clarification, would this just be for the,
Run Doral.
for just Run Doral? Because Mr. Orozco also hosts other
In
events.
December, yeah.
I think that he can have the conversation with administration and the memorandum of understanding can come back with what events he wants to include there.
Great, thank you so much.
But let's try and limit it to just the events he's been hosting with the 5Ks and the half marathon.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we need a roll call.
A motion to approve made by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilwoman Cabral. Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Madam Clerk, we're going to take up the items that were pulled in order, alphabetical order. So we'll start with 6A.
Item 6A, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, waiving the formal competitive bid process pursuant to section 2-321 of the city's code of ordinances and awarding informal request for proposals, IRFP number 2024-02 for school zone speed detection services to Red Speed Florida LLC, authorizing the city manager to negotiate an agreement with Red Speed for a 5-year term, providing for implementation, expenditure of budgeted funds, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This was pulled by Councilwoman Cabral.
Okay, Councilwoman Cabral, you have the floor.
To the chair, to the city manager, I just would like for you to please to elaborate a little bit the reasons. I know that we had our meeting before the meeting, before our council meeting, the revised agenda, but I would like you, if you can elaborate a little bit on the reason that we are that you're requesting for another proposal to negotiate again.
Yes. Good morning, Councilwoman. Through the mayor, the city attorney helped with this item. I would like for him to reply in reference to, he's the one that helped draft a letter to explain.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Councilwoman Cabral, the reason being is we entered, the resolution that was passed on Vera was passed on July of 2024. As of January of this year, there had not been much movement on Vera's part to do anything, pull permits, do anything that was necessary. It is important, I think, for the city to make sure that by August of this year, we're going to have these school cameras up and running. And so it was evident that that wasn't going to happen. The agreement, section 15.1, which we cite in the letter, allows us for any reason to go ahead and be able to terminate, provided that we give a sufficient reason and there is no cost or liability to the city on this. So that's why we went ahead and did that. The resolution that you have before you is going with the second highest bidder that was found to be responsive. And that's why the city's moving in that direction, just to make sure that we have this by August.
Through the chair, to the city attorney. So what was the, do you have, were you able to talk to them, have any communication with Vera and see why was the delay on them on having this up running?
No, I mean, it was really incumbent on them to, based on the agreement that we had, to do those things and to really communicate with the city. And there was just no communication whatsoever. Even after we sent the letter, there wasn't much communication afterwards.
So they were not
it took about a month.
So they were not working with the staff or anything after this was approved, or?
No, I mean, once, to be candid, once the letter was sent, then we started getting some calls. But I mean, it was, I think, in the opinion of both management and myself, a little too late, because we needed just someone that was really going to be proactive and make sure that this was going to happen by August.
And with the new vendor that that was the second within the bid at that time, they have given you at least a time if they get this approved today, how long it's going to take them to be able to put this up running? Are they going to be able to do this before school year, or?
From my understanding of what I've heard is that they're willing and able to make this happen by August. So crossing our fingers that this one works.
Is there anybody from the company that is here? Because I would like to ask through, if I may, some questions to the vendor.
I do believe they are here present, correct?
They are?
Mm-hmm. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, Council members. Greg Parks with Red Speed.
Thank you, Greg. Council?
Thank you. I did receive an email, and I also wanted to understand some issue, and if you could please elaborate.
Sure.
About the program that you had in Palm Bay and also in Manatee County.
No, I'd be happy to. Thanks for the question. We operate more school zone safety programs than all other vendors combined in the country, over 100. We have 28 customers in Florida, 9, I think, in Miami-Dade County. as recently as last night, Miami Springs signed with us. So we've got a great relevant experience. We have dozens of cameras operational in the county and will absolutely be live by the beginning of school. Manatee County changed commissions. The board that approved it was gone, all but one, and they didn't want to do a program. It was, their political decision, they're right. Manatee County had a flasher issue, or Palm Bay, very minor. It was corrected. Things happen, but we operate excellent programs.
And what were those issues that were corrected?
Flasher timing.
Okay. I just wanted to know, Mr. Attorney, if you will, and Madam Manager, if you already have an idea, let's say, if anything happens, I don't know, with the permitting, with the county, and to have this running, if you already have a set on time, like if this doesn't happen within, like this other company of what you have expressed that had happened, what will be, if you have an idea, what will be the next step, or if you're going to be taking any steps, depends on how long this will take.
Through the mayor, Councilwoman, all our contracts include termination clauses for non-performance and also for convenience. So the company is willing to, abide by the timeline that they have provided, then we should be fine. If not, we could always put this back out.
And the timeline, could you please
Well, what
repeat?
we're hoping is that we are operational by the time that the school year begins in August of this year of 25.
Okay,
We
perfect.
will be.
Perfect. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Reynoso. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo. Okay, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilwoman Reynoso, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Councilwoman Reynoso.
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras.
Yes.
Mayor Fraga.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much.
Next item, item 6B, a resolution of the mayor of the City Council of the City of Doral, Florida, approving settlement terms with Doral 10 LLC, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This was pulled by the city attorney.
Mr. Lorenzo, you pulled this?
I did.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So simply, I just wanted to pull this just to advise the council. And during the February council meeting, this board went ahead and approved the term sheet, which had all of the significant terms. We've already forwarded and been negotiating the purchase and sale agreement and the settlement agreement. I have with me Raul Gastesi, your other city attorney, who's been heavily invested in this in the last couple of weeks. Everything is pretty much finalized. Now, there is one caveat, and that's dealing with some mitigation credits and some permits with Durham and with South Florida Water Management. And there's some documentation that we're just trying to get a little bit more clarity on and make sure that that is able to seal the deal. So I just wanted to put that on the record that I'd ask this council and the mayor to please give us both the manager and myself and our team discretion and latitude to be able to finalize that negotiation and bring the final product, the purchase of the property.
Okay, thank you very much. There's no comments or questions. We need a motion.
I have a question. Could you please, because I remember at the time that we went through a few years back with this issue, that the cost at that time of the land was $10 million. And now we're buying it for 20, if it's not my understanding, no?
Well, the settlement amount is that 21, but it doesn't include only the purchase of the land. It includes other figures, including attorney's fees and costs that are owed.
Could you please elaborate a little bit about it, and how is it that it was determined? I guess that it was a study, or how they came up with that amount, and that we're planning to settle for that amount.
I'm gonna let my colleague
And
and
this
partner,
been
Raul Gastesi.
how many years from the time? Because I don't. I mean, I know that.
Oh,
it
this has
was
been
like
going on since 2018.
5 years, for five,
Since-
6 years.
More, yeah, about 6,
At the time, like in 6 years, it was $10 million. No, that was like the pricing at that time.
a little bit further. I think that was around 2017, 18.
Yeah,
so.
around that time.
Yeah, obviously, the market has changed dramatically since then. This was a negotiation. We were not doing well in court. We had insurance counsel, an insurance company. We were not doing very well in court. The settlement they haven't been able to, I mean,
without making their case, but they haven't been able to develop the land or do certain things on the land because of the issues with contamination and everything else that they allege we caused. We disagree with that. We don't believe it was as bad, but like I've spoken to most of you about, I would rather and recommend that you purchase the land, and you've already agreed to do that, that you purchase the land rather than just pay the damages that the court is likely to find against Doral. At least you have the land. There's appraisals. Part of the settlement, don't quote me on the exact figure, but about $3 million is for loss of use of the land, attorney's fees, and costs. And then the rest, the land is being purchased for 17.1, I believe.
Something around that amount.
Yeah, 17.1 or 17.
And appraised at around the 18.
Right, and we have an appraisal for actually more than that, that we contracted out independently just recently to do that. I stick with my recommendation as to the settlement. I recommend it. You all voted in favor of it. The only issue and the only reason it was pulled today is because it's complicated, an issue involving mitigation credits. And there's a mitigation bank where these credits were purchased by the seller, and the seller is assigning them to us. The question is, the chicken or the egg, do we, after a conversation that we had yesterday, I mean, this is happening in real time. This is happening like yesterday afternoon, this morning, and going forward. We have to purchase, we want to take advantage of purchasing these credits. It's $150,000. It's real money, but in light of a $21 million settlement, it's not something that should hold it up. We are stuck, or not stuck, we are discussing whether the seller assigns us the mitigation credits before that, and then we close, or whether they can be assigned after the fact. It's not 100% clear. The seller is looking for certain documents that they have to give us. This is happening in a very short time period. So based on that, we're going to negotiate how this happens so that we try and make sure we capture those credits. But I would not hold up this deal for that, because the alternative is to go back to court. The insurance carrier, as many of you know, has said that they don't want to cover us anymore, that they don't believe there's coverage, and we would have to foot the bill for the lawyers going forward. There's a lot of issues going on that I've discussed with you at executive session and other matters. So what we're looking for is leeway just to negotiate those terms so that we can get this closed by the 19th, because there's no more council meetings between now and then, as far as I understand. Hopefully I haven't been too verbal or taken up too much of your time, but if you've got any other questions, let me know.
Thank you for answering. And, I am all to resolve the issue. Just for the record, I wasn't at the time that this was brought up. I was absent at the time.
Okay.
Just to.
All right.
That it was
No
not
worries.
unanimous.
Yeah.
So unanimous with the ones that were that day, I guess. So I just wanted, for us to keep finishing, with all the different litigations that we have, but to look always, keep fighting on having something that is positive, a positive impact to our city.
Thank you, and feel better.
Thank you.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Reynoso. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo. There's no more questions. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
I have a motion to approve and direct the city manager and city attorney to continue the negotiations for the item, made by Councilwoman Reynoso, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Move on to the next item, Madam Clerk.
Next item is 6O, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, awarding requests for proposals 2024-21 recreation and fitness programs to the top-ranked firms, and authorizing the city manager to negotiate and enter into agreements with Gracie's Total Training, Pillow Fit, Feel Well Train Better, Miss Siren Music for Babies, Regina de los Santos Salsa and Bachata, Pinecrest Dance, ADY and Company Inc., and Level Up Mobile Gym for the provision of recreational programming for a period of 1 year, with the option to renew for an additional 2 one-year terms, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This was pulled by Vice Mayor Porras.
Okay, Vice Mayor Porras.
Thank you. I pulled this item just so that we could have a very quick summary on, how the vendors were selected. I know that there's a lot of individuals that want to do business with the city, which is great. And now that we're opening Central Park, we have a lot of programming, as well as in our facilities outside of Central Park. So I just wanted to just do a public, sort of a very brief explanation of all the great things that, the city has already been doing to encourage participation, and how we're selecting vendors so that, the public just hears it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So just to add to this before I call up the Parks Director, the past couple of years, we've been doing several things to encourage public participation, especially those local vendors that want to do business with the city. We've done vendor fairs where we educate the community, we educate vendors on the process and provide assistance for them and allow them to use the city and our staff as a tool to assist them in getting registered and going through the process. Beyond that, specifically to some of the parks program, recently in December, we did have a RFP process. That was a simplified bid process compared to some of the more detailed ones. And the goal with that was to allow individuals who aren't familiar with the process to be able to come meet with staff or submit a form or documents that were not as detailed as other procurement processes have been. We did select back in December, and we brought forward to council for approval several programs and several instructors for parks programming. Being that we do have Doral Central Park coming on board fully in the next couple months, we wanted to make sure we had a full menu of instructors and programs to fulfill the needs for our community. So we did contact several vendors who have reached out to the city in the past, who have done services for the city in the past, who have provided services at no cost to the city in the past, that we believed were going to fit some of those gaps that we had. So in that, we have presented today some instructors that will be on a one-year pilot program with options for renewals for one-year periods with 2 options for renewal. If you need more about the process or the specific programs, I'm happy to either call the procurement director or the parks director.
No, I think that's fine. Just wanted to make sure that, we talked about it, and thank you. And with that, I'll just place a motion. Thank you.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras, second by Councilwoman Cabral. There's no more questions or comments. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilman Cabral. Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, next item.
Next item is 6Q, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, approving a special event permit requested by CC Avelar on behalf of Par 5 Group to host the Live Golf International Miami at Trump National Doral, located at 4400 Northwest 87th Avenue, Doral, Florida, 33178, from Friday, April 4th through Sunday, April 6th, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This is pulled by Mayor Fraga.
Yes, thank you very much. Very briefly, I pulled this item because they actually are not here. I don't believe there's anybody here for them today, but I've been meeting with representatives of the Live Tour for a couple weeks now, and they want to have more participation in the community, and we've been able to come up with some great activities for the community, which will include the youth, volunteers, and so with that, we have decided to, or we have come to a term that we would be a sponsor as a city by providing just this relationship with the community. It's no in kind or no anything that we're waiving any fees or police. It was just for the use of the logo, and also through public affairs and the directive that I've had from the council through the manager's office, working with them to promote the Live Tour, which is a great initiative in our city and something that we've been recognized as a golf community for several years, and we want to bring that back. Hopefully, it'll be on a more consistent basis, and they'll sign a year-over-year deal where we'll have more opportunities to promote this great event. But in this year, what we've been asked to do is to do banners on the light poles and to also do bus benches, and it'll have our logo. So it's basically promoting our sponsorship with the Live Tour, which I think is extremely important for our community. So I pulled it so that we could get just approval from the council to be able to use the official logo as a sponsor, and I will continue to work with them on these great initiatives and programmings, which will include our youth, our special needs. So we're doing a lot of great programming throughout the days that they'll be here with the pro athletes. So that's pretty much it. Just need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Madam Clerk?
I have a motion to approve inclusive of a sponsorship of the event by allowing them to use the city logo and promote the event via banners and bus benches.
Yes.
Made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. We'll now move into the item, Madam Clerk, we're gonna take up item T, U, and V together.
Okay. Would you like for me to read them into the record?
Yeah, read them all into the record, because they're all regarding the same, so Councilwoman Reynoso does not mind taking them up together.
No problem.
Thank you.
Item 6T, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, awarding invitation to bid 2024-14 Doral Boulevard entry features to Waypoint Contracting, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $1,062,577.22, which includes a 10% contingency for any unforeseen conditions and a 2% dedicated allowance for anticipated permitting costs. Authorizing the city manager to execute a construction agreement, authorizing the city manager to transfer $434,468 from account number 101.80005-500-633 to account 101-8005-500-631, and authorizing the city manager to expend budgeted funds on behalf of the city in furtherance thereof, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This was deferred from the January 15 meeting and pulled for discussion by Councilwoman Reynoso. Item 6U, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, waiving the competitive bid process pursuant to section 2-321 of the city's code of ordinances, authorizing a consulting contract agreement with Calvin Giordano and Associates, Inc. for project management and construction engineering inspection services for the Doral Boulevard entry features project in an amount not to exceed $155,539.50, authorizing the city manager to execute the consulting agreement and expend budgeted funds on behalf of the city, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This was deferred from the January 15 council meeting and pulled for discussion by Councilwoman Reynoso. Item V, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, waiving the competitive bid process pursuant to section 2-321 of the city's code of ordinances, authorizing a consulting contract agreement with Calvin Giordano and Associates for post-design services for the Doral Boulevard entry features construction project in an amount not to exceed $36,472, authorizing the city manager to execute the consulting agreement and expend budgeted funds on behalf of the city, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date. This was deferred from the January 15 council meeting and pulled for discussion by Councilwoman Reynoso.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Well, these items I pulled on a matter of principle. I cannot stand and approve two monuments, sign structures that are exceeding $1 million and the additional costs that come into placing this. I think about the programmings that we could fund with this money. I think about other projects that the city can fund with this money. So on principle, I cannot vote yes on any of these three items for that cause. So thank you.
Okay, any questions? Any other questions?
To our, through the other chair to our Madam Manager. I know that this has been going for quite a while, this project, going back and forth also on the design and all of that. If you could please elaborate a little bit, or our city attorney too, about this these three items.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Through the mayor. Yes, Councilwoman, this item and the three items that go along with it, because it has engineering services and post design services, has been in the works, at least from what I remember, going back to 2015. And I am sure that given everything that has happened in the rise in cost, it has propelled these monuments to be a lot more costly than they intended to be at the beginning. I know the design's been picked for many, many years. And I also know the concern that the council had with respect to the monuments that are there now, or the almost
Too small, you can hardly
yes,
visit
that we
all.
have to do them. So we decided to move them forward because Public Works has been hanging on to that and you know, moving and rebudgeting for the increases and so on. So it is up to the council, as always, whether you want those monuments there or not. And I totally respect the councilwoman's concerns. But that is the cost of what we have. If you want more detail, I can bring up the Public Works Director, Carlos Arroyo, to speak to council if you have any additional questions.
If I may, now that you are our new city manager, my recommendation will be if maybe you can look into it now that you are on board and see if there's any other alternative that maybe it can be presented again to the council to see all the alternatives and see if maybe we'll be able to bring the cost, minimize the cost for this, because now might be a better, better materials or another design that maybe will enhance the limits of our city. Because the ones that are now, I do understand that they're very small. I mean, they're hardly visible for who comes and visit our city. I think that is needed, but I think that maybe now that you are on board, you might be able to look and maybe find, like you have been done with other contracts, to see maybe we can have a better design and a better price.
Again, Councilwoman, if that's the will of the council, I have no problem, but I do know we would have to go back out and redesign what we need to do and put it back out for design services. So Carlos, am I correct? Yes. So we would have to completely redesign, get an architect on board and redo the design to do that, because this size and what we have, that is the price of the materials and the cost right now. We would have to redo engineering, we would have to redo design, and then go back out to bid for the
If that will end it on being, more costly because of all the other work that has to be done that we already have. I mean, prior years have been already
correct, because it would be a whole new project.
Then no, that's why I'm asking these questions, because you are the expert on this and public works as well. Excuse me. So then we can make a thoughtful decision.
Yes.
I'm going to chime in here because I think I was the only one that's been sitting up here since this project initiated. And what happens is every time that there is change in council, there's a change in opinions of how this should be done. We've invested several hundreds of thousands of dollars already on redoing our monument signs. They're super outdated. They look like tombstones, which in my opinion are just not, they don't fit the design and the look of our city. There's been a push to modernize. I think that the design we have is one that is tasteful and takes into account the cost. I know it's a high cost. I don't dispute that, but we've already invested a lot of money. So scratching this project from the beginning is going to cost us double. And every year that we put this off and defer it, which we've done for over 10 years, the cost goes up, similar to what happened with the land. So every time we've put this off, we're ending up paying more money. We've had several discussions about this. The monument signs for me have been a big deal because it started back from the Doral Decor District days, and has evolved from there. And so I really think this is something we need to pursue and move forward with, or we scratch the entire project and we leave the tombstones. But I think for what our city has become today, we need better monument signs and identification of the city when you're coming into the main corridors of the city that represents the city that you're coming into. So that's why I've been, wanting to move forward with this, because I think that it's needed for identifying the city. Now, that is not to say that there's also other entry features that we're going to have to look at moving forward, because this only addresses the main Doral Boulevard, and we will have to start looking at something that matches this look for 107th Avenue and other areas where we have the tombstones. So this is an ongoing project. The more we delay it, the more expensive it's going to be, and the less it's going to get done. So I'm supportive of it. I know it's extremely, it's something that's an extremely expensive cost, but in the reality of today's pricing and materials, I don't think we're gonna get anything much less expensive than this. We're only gonna see it continue to rise in price. So as someone who's been sitting up here for more than 10 years watching this project get deferred, I think it's time for this to make a decision, or if not, scratch the entire project and continue with what we have.
Are these the tall monuments, like the really tall ones? I personally don't like them, but, and I don't know, I agree that, I don't like either, to be honest. Just wanted to put that on the
The
record.
design.
Again, this is something that every time we have new people on the council, art is in the eye of the beholder, and it was put through committees. It's a design that is supposed to enhance the aesthetic appeal of our community and also resemble what the city has become. And that's why this is not up to just us. It goes through FDOT. There's several agencies involved that have to approve. So it's not just us saying, we like this and we want this. Many times we provided a design and FDOT rejected it. So we also have to take into account that there's several agencies involved, and that's part of the process that it's also delayed this. And so we don't want to continue to kind of go down and chase our own tail, for lack of better words, and then go to FDOT and it get rejected again. So we can put it up to a vote, and yes, Councilman
Thank you,
Pinheiro.
Mayor. I also agree with you. I mean, I was not sitting here, but I was part of the council, part of the staff when this was approved back in 2015, and I believe the current city manager was part of the staff too. So I know it has been going around for 10 years at least, and I do remember it's exactly what we're seeing today. I mean, so this conversation has been going on for the last 10 years, and I do agree with Councilwoman Reynoso. I mean, I know it's expensive now, but unfortunately, and I like to call it how it is. I mean, we're having the conversation again is because of lack of proactivity before, based on previous council members. I mean, that's the reality that we're facing. So, yes, I mean, we can keep the conversation going, and it's going to take more time. It's going to take more years, most likely, and it's not our fault that previous council members didn't make this decision on time, and that's why we're paying more now. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I also believe this was part of the bond at some point with the pedestrian bridge.
It
at
was
the same-
separate, and it was never part of the bond, but it was the pedestrian bridge incorporated
The
one of the
monuments.
monuments, but that's no longer happening.
Right. So, and we all know what happened with the bond and how the money was actually had to be moved around. And again, those are decisions that were made by previous council members. So, I'm in favor of moving forward based on the fact that yes, is horrible what we have right now. I mean, let's call it the way it is. I mean, when you enter Doral, you don't believe that you're entering Doral. So it's very bad. I mean, and we have to change it. And at least we're making a proactive step on Doral Boulevard. Yeah. I agree. We have to look into other maybe options regarding other entrances to Doral, but at least we're doing what also, and you might recall, I think Ms. Arroyo was here too. We hosted workshops where the community participated, and the residents approved what we have in front of us. So again, we're not doing something because we want to. This was approved 10 years ago. It was taken to the council back then. It was approved. Before that, we hosted workshops. So, I mean, we're just trying to be proactive now. And I do agree, it's expensive. And it will be more expensive. I mean, if you bring it back in 6 months, a year, it's going to be more expensive. I mean, that's the reality. So I'm okay in moving forward.
Through the chair?
Yes.
Well, based on the information, like I said before, that you have, and I remember also, I mean, I've been here for 7 years, that this is also something that is going back and forth. And the information that Public Works have provided and that they have worked for, I have a motion to approve the project to keep moving forward.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Councilwoman Cabral.
I second that.
Second by Councilman Pinheiro. Okay, any other questions, comments? No? Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Madam Mayor, this will be one motion for all three items,
Yes,
correct?
please.
Okay. I have a motion to approve items 6T, 6U, and 6V, made by Councilwoman Cabral and seconded by Councilman Pinheiro. Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
No.
Vice Mayor Porras?
No.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. All right, we have the final item, item Z.
Yes. Item Z, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, streamlining the vice mayor role in order to avoid confusion and promote fiscal responsibility, providing for implementation and incorporation of recitals and an effective date. This was pulled by Councilwoman Cabral.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Thank you. So, again, with this item, with all due respect to Councilwoman Reynoso, I understand that your comments has been based on saving money and be responsible, but if we bring just what have been approved in the last month when it comes to some positions that, for me, really, we are not in need of those positions that are way more than 2,837.29 base on the information, the memo that I have here. I don't think that this fight, it is really needed among Vice Mayor, excuse me, Porras here. This is something that since the beginning, it has been always going forward, not just because something has been done before. I'm not saying that because something has been done before is not good for us to sit down and review if it is something that is really, that makes sense. But in this case, it's just a fight that really doesn't make any sense. And I really think that if you wanted to, you're bringing this forward on us because you said that the cost is too high to be able just to print the envelopes, to print the letterheads, the cards, like we all have done, the frame, something that anyway, every 2 years we have election. If somebody is not reelected, anyway, everything has to, many of the things that you're putting here in the items has to be replaced. Excuse me. So I really think that there's no reason for this fight among us anyway. Each of us rotate. So at the time that it comes to you, I mean, that is your turn. I'm pretty sure that, and I hope, and I would like to amend this, that at least for the years that we are going to still be here, all of us, all the members that are right now elected, there will be no amendment into this resolution. Because I don't think that it's fair that this is being done, you coming on board, and you're telling me that $2,837 is really gonna make a difference for a fight? I mean, just think about it. I think that we're trying to work all of us here together as a team, or at least trying to agree on the things that are for the well-being of the community. But in this case, to have this fight with another council member when all of us have rotated. I was once a vice mayor. You're going to be a vice mayor at one point too. And I will never try to do something like that to you because I think that you deserve to also be recognized, for you to, within your position, for you to have your signs, you know, your name. I mean, it is a rotation that all of us does. And I think that that's clear in the community, that everybody knows that this is a rotation. It's not a position that is voted. All of us rotate. The mayor also did twice.
3 times.
3 times. So, and I don't think that, you know, nobody brought something like this, you know, to limit. And if it is about the money, I'm pretty sure that there will be people that will be willing to donate the money if it is, you know, your concern of the cost.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
But I really wanted to ask, and I hope, and I'm pretty sure that you all gonna support this, that to amend this resolution, that then at the time that we are here, all of us, this resolution would not be amended.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Yes, Councilwoman Reynoso?
To the mayor, I would agree with Councilwoman Cabral, but then we would both be wrong. So I would like to just call the question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. All right, I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Cabral?
No.
Vice Mayor Porras?
No.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll now move on to the mayor's report. Madam Clerk, if you could please pass around the letter. In my report this month, one of the things that I wanted to bring forward was, I believe all of us were at the February 19th BCC meeting regarding the waste-to-energy facility, but there was also an item discussed there regarding a moratorium for annexation for municipalities throughout the county. Originally, Section 6 and Section 15 were excluded from that moratorium. And then there was a motion to amend on the table, that was laid on the table at that time to include Section 6. I have prepared this letter to send to our county commissioner. This does affect our city. While I'm disappointed that Section 6 was included in the moratorium, and that's something that we will continue to discuss and look at as we move forward, I was at least encouraged that he showed support for continuing to allow for Section 15 to be annexed and be incorporated into the city of Doral. Therefore, we prepared this letter. There was a resolution that was adopted June 14th of 2023 by this council that included a contract requesting the 4-year mitigation, which is the same deal that Medley got 2 years ago when they received their incorporation. So this letter basically just encourages and requests that the county commissioner for District 12 put on the BCC agenda meeting for April the agreement with the city of Doral to move forward on Section 15 annexation. I think it's important. We have invested tremendously for over 17 years fighting to get this area incorporated into the city of Doral for several reasons. One of them is to protect the entry features in our community. This is on 58th Street. The area needs to be needs improvement and beautification projects. So I'd really like for us to stress the importance of this to our county commissioner through this letter and ask for it to be incorporated into the April meeting for the county commission. And that way we can proceed with Section 15, which not only will represent an important revenue into our community, but also allow us to continue to enhance and improve the aesthetics and the protect the main entrances of our community. So just wanted to share this with you all. I will be bringing more information forward on Section 6 probably in the next month, and we'll reach out directly to the county commissioner's office to make sure that this letter is received and that hopefully we can get Section 15 to be approved by the county commission at the next meeting. That was really what I wanted to share with everybody. Additionally, we wanted to wish all women in our community a happy Women's Month, Women's History Month, and also an International Women's Day, which was celebrated last Saturday. And also remind everybody that next month we'll be having our extravaganza. And lastly, April 8th and 9th next month are Day Days, and I believe some of us are going to be going or would like to go to Day Days, and it coincides with our council meeting for the month. So I'm requesting that the council meeting be moved to April 16th. I believe the clerk has already checked the schedule, and if it's okay with everybody, we'll be moving it 1 week so we can go to Day Days.
That's fine.
Okay, everybody's okay with that?
Yeah, let me check my calendar. 16.
While Councilwoman's checking her calendar, I also wanted to wish some of our directors a happy birthday. Edgar Estrada, March 4th, happy birthday. Carlos Arroyo, March 5th. And our Parks Director, Erin Sullivan, March 30th. So happy birthday, guys. That's it for my mayor's report. I think we're just checking the councilwoman's agenda for the 16th, but I believe some of us already committed to Day Days, so we really don't have another option at this point. But okay,
I'm going to move a few things that I have in the hospital that day then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So March 16th, April 16th it is. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to council comments.
To the mayor.
Councilwoman Reynoso.
Well, once again, I'm very happy to see all these wonderful faces at our council meetings. Again, I think community engagement is super important to the job that we do here up in council. I want to thank each of our department directors. I haven't gotten around to meeting all of you yet and having our one-on-ones, but I'm extremely proud of the work that each of you do for the city of Doral and the team that you lead. I think it's it's just the sense of teamwork and the pride that we have for our city and always committing to excellence. So thank you for leading that, and thank you to all the employees that we have here. Additionally, I want to echo the mayor in Happy Women's Month to all the amazing ladies that we have here.
Yes.
Happy St. Patrick's Day for next week. And also for spring break, the City Parks Department has amazing programs for those that are looking for mini camps. I want to invite our residents to look into that and see if there's any of the programs that we're offering or we partner up with interest anyone. Also, last night I had the opportunity to have a ride along through our city, and I want to thank our police department and the amazing work that they do. Our city is very well looked after and is very safe. I want to thank the men and women that do that, that allow for us that while they're patrolling the night or while they're driving around in the morning and taking care of the calls that they have, that allows us, a majority of the residents, to have and live in the safe and beautiful community that we do, and it's in part to them. So thank you for allowing me to have that opportunity and see a little bit of what you guys do at nighttime. And I want to invite the residents or anybody else to come to downtown Doral to our art walk this Saturday. I think culture and the arts is very important, and this is a great opportunity to see a little bit of that this weekend. Thank you, my colleagues.
Thank you very much. Any other council comments? Councilman Pinedo?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to, first of all, to recognize some of the members of the community that are here as well. I know we have members from the Silver Club. They're here. We have veterans here, so thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I also want to recognize, we have Miss Doral here, Miss Garcia. So welcome. And I also want to thank everybody from the community that actually show up today, because it is important. I mean, it's important to participate. It is important to get involved. We're a wonderful community, and please keep doing it. We need you guys.
Yes.
Aileen, Pablo, you're always welcome here. I also want to thank our police department, our police officers. I echo Councilwoman Reynoso's comments. We have a great police department. And I also want to thank you for the great response that you guys actually had yesterday with the incident at Ronald Reagan Senior High. I want to thank our school board commissioner, Danny Spino, as well, in keeping everybody up to date on social media as well. And obviously the Miami-Dade County Public School System Police Department, Miami-Dade County Police Department, everybody that responded yesterday. I think that was amazing. So thank you for keeping our community safe. Thank you for keeping our children safe. And that's a huge relief. So that's why I always like to say every time that you see a police officer, say thank you. Because, I mean, they're the ones protecting us and keeping us safe.
Cómprale un cafecito.
But yes, buy coladitas y cafecitos for them when you get a chance. Don't buy donuts, right, Chief? No donuts. All healthy stuff. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys do. It's pretty amazing. And thank you to all the wonderful staff that we have and all the women that we have as part of the team, our city manager. Thank you so much for the last 3 months have been pretty amazing next to you and your leadership. And it's great to serve next to 4 women as well. I'm the only guy, as you can tell. Let's see if that changed next year. But so far, I'm the lucky one, and I'm the favorite councilman of the city of Doral. So let's keep it that way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments?
I have some comments.
Yeah, Vice Mayor.
I want to reiterate my condolences to the family members of all those that passed away in the last couple of weeks. I also want to thank our city staff, our manager, everyone that's doing the great work and continues to do the great work. We really have had amazing turnout at a lot of our events, and I'm hearing it from all of our residents. They're very, very happy. They love all the programming. Erin, her team, and everyone else that's worked on it, thank you. Keep up the great work. I also want to congratulate all the women as well for Women's Month. This is really the time to recognize all of our accomplishments and contributions that we make everywhere. And I also want to recognize someone that's here, Darius Steen, back in the back. His son, Tyler Steen, plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, who happen to be Super Bowl champions this year. So congratulations, wanted to give them a shout out. They are a family that have been, yes. We have Super Bowl champs, guys. That is really cool and very amazing. And they're actually a family of veterans as well. And they have been in the community for over 20 years. So we have a local hero in Tyler. Thank you all for representing us really well. And that's it. I want to wish everyone a happy March month, and I'll see you next month.
Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Yes, thank you. I know that we acknowledge the passing of those leaders in our community that made a great impact in our community, and they will be missed. I would like to recognize the incredible contribution of women in our community, and to our Venezuelan community. Your presence here today shows strength and unity. We stand with you, especially during this challenging time with the TPA's challenges. I apologize that I'm not feeling well today. That's why I'm with a mask, trying not to spread the germs or anything like that. Thank you to our chief for reaching out and letting me know what was going on next door, because I live all the way on the north side. So thank you for reaching out and answering when I call you, because I know many parents call me trying to ask what was going on, because they did not have at that moment any information. So many blessings to all of you, and happy St. Patrick. St. Patrick is coming, one of my favorite saints. So search about him, because it's not just about beer. He did much more than that. He actually was a great saint. Many blessings to you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I also wanted to mention, just before we move on to the manager's report, it was also Lorenzo's birthday, March 5th. So happy birthday, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Forgot, sorry. And I also wanted to, I also wanted to recognize, we have some students here from Miami-Dade College and their professor, Ralph. Welcome, Rivas. Nice to see you guys. They are political science students, so we'll be doing a tour of City Hall, and they're here to just witness our council meeting today. So welcome to all of you. All right, city manager's report.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. As you know, since when I arrived, one of the vital things, the city manager's office priorities we have been working on, along with the deputy city manager and our assistant city manager and our executive team, is to fill some of the vital vacant positions that we have, and to make some changes within the executive team that will increase efficiencies and help us move forward as we embark on doing new projects and the things that we set out to do. So with that said, I wanted to bring up our building director, Jane Decker, and our new building official, so that Linda Blanco, so that we can introduce you to this new hire, and very professional that we have in our city.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Manager. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, Manager's Office, City Attorney, my colleagues in the audience, City Clerk, Jane Decker, Building Department Director, no longer the building official or floodplain manager. Very excited about that. They say big blessings come in petite packages, so I am blessed to have Linda on the team. You guys know that I welcome challenges and change with an open heart and mind, and I very much look forward to leaning on and learning from Linda. So, and you know I like alliteration. So with that,
thank you all. I am very grateful for the opportunity to serve the community, and I want to thank Jane and City Manager, Assistant City Manager Frank Rios, and the City Manager Zeta Sardinas. This is a great community, and I look forward to helping any way I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Girl
Well,
power, too.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, welcome, Linda. We're happy to have you. Jane, thank you for holding down the fort. I know it was a tough 2 months, month and a half. So, so thank you for holding down the fort. And it's rare you see women in construction management and in the field. And so we're happy to have you. And I know you come with a wealth of knowledge and experience for many years. And I've already had several people that have sat with you and have said, "Wow, I finally got, the answers I needed and progress and solutions." Not to say that Jane and her team have not done it. They're wonderful, but it's definitely important that people feel that they are getting solutions to, situations. So especially in buildings. So thank you very much. We welcome you with open arms.
She's already got her boots on and been
I
out
know
to the
she
field.
does. I've seen her. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. In addition to that, I also would like to bring up Assistant City Manager and CFO, Fernando Casamayor, and who has some interesting news to share regarding our IT Director, Eileen Fernandez, if she could come up as well.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, council members, et al. Since I arrived to the city of Doral, Eileen has been the interim IT director in 2 separate occasions for an extended amount of time. In the time that I've been here, I've really gotten to know her both as an individual and as a professional. She is as impressive individually as she is professionally. Before I say some really nice things about her, Eileen has grown, literally grown up in the city. So she first joined us in 2019 as a help desk specialist, worked her way up to director. So that is literally starting at the bottom and getting to the top, and she's done it in a very short amount of time. So that is an accomplishment. Eileen is an amazing mom, a great family member, very supportive of her family and her husband. She's a Doral resident. And just a few of her certifications, which could take a while if I really decided to do all of them, but I'm not going to. Since she joined the city of Doral, she's gotten her master's degree. She's a certified government chief information officer and a certified Six Sigma black belt. So congratulations, I'm a green belt. You're a black belt, good for you.
You trying to scare us?
Yeah, she can innovate us to death. The reality is she's an amazing team leader. She understands the importance of IT and how that correlates with operations and business analysis. And what impresses me the most is when IT shows up here, they're not just here to give you a software solution, but they're actually here to take a look at your business process and see how that can be improved. So with that said, congratulations, very well deserved, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm really honored that I've been entrusted with the leadership of the great IT department that we have, and I'm excited to work on all the technology initiatives that will benefit our residents, business owners, and our employees as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Congratulations. Thank you. We're happy
Thank
to
you,
have
Eileen. And then I would also like to bring up our police chief, Edwin Lopez, and who has some news to share regarding our deputy police chief, Alicia Niel.
There's a trend here. I don't know if you all have noticed.
One more minute. Good morning. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, City Manager, City Attorney, Deputy City Manager. For us, it's a happy day. I got to bring my colleague up here, law enforcement officer, for about 28 years, and our new deputy chief, the first female deputy chief in the history of this police department. So it's a major moment for us. It's a historical moment, and it's someone who's committed to doing what's best for every single member and resident of our community. So it's an opportunity to usher in her leadership. She's been already with the city for almost 2 years, so she has a good grasp. But she's a cop, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, and she's someone who loves us all. So we're grateful to have her on board. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, elected officials, City Manager, Deputy City Manager. I want to first thank Chief Lopez for entrusting me with this honor. I carry it with professionalism, commitment, and dedication to the City of Doral and our officers. I am truly grateful for your support, and I just thank you again in advance.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
Great job. Congratulations, Alicia.
So thank you, Mayor. We're still working on some of the things that we have left, and we will be back with more news next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Great work. All right, City Attorney's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you all for your birthday wishes. Congrats to Eileen. Congrats to all the women on Women's Month. Just a few updates. We continue to work there weekly with all the directors and with management just to make sure that anything that was a backlog is getting pushed through, especially in the Planning and Zoning Department. So I want to thank all the directors for making time to meet with me on a weekly basis to make sure that that gets done. There's 2 executive sessions I'd like to call for the following month. Duque versus City of Doral and Pena versus City of Doral. There are some liability issues on those, slip and falls, but we may need to have an executive session on those. Thank you.
All right, City Clerk's report.
My report is attached in the agenda as it is every month, but I did want to give a shout out to Gabriel in the AV room because today is his birthday.
Oh, there you go. Lots of birthdays this month. Okay, if that's it, then we just need a motion to recess to our 6 p.m. meeting, and we do have 5 p.m. protocol. Motion to recess by Councilwoman Reynoso. Second by Councilman Pinedo. On favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll see you all at 5 or at 6.